There's no shortage of resources. There's literally everything you could feasibly want as long as you're willing to look. And then of course, networking events are exhaustive. There are so many of them to the point where you you get tired out just going to networking events.
If you're a professional and you would like to essentially be introduced to the startup scene, you can join the Boston Startup School. You know, it's a six week program, and you literally go through what it's like to be in the startup scene.
Does their venture cafe every single Thursday night. You know, it's free. It's sort of a happy hour. You just go and meet all sorts of cool people and network.
Then there's, of course, Mass Challenge, which it's become very, very popular lately.
The Cambridge Innovation Center.
We have the Cambridge Innovation Center here, which has, I think, just over 450 clients or so.
Harvard Labs, MIT Labs.
There are so many different types of events and organizations that throw monthly either informational, educational, or networking events that you can go to and meet people.
You could go to places like Work Bar, Intrepid Labs.
Special events like the CEOs I'm part of, ridiculous name, but it's a group of women in the Boston area who have started or are currently CEOs of companies.
I think with the community aspect as well, it almost becomes contagious that there's, because it's such a vibrant community, that it becomes one of these things that you invite your friend to one of the many ways to network in the city, and you bring a friend, they're like, wow, I can actually make this happen. I took this great class over at Harvard or MIT, and I would really like to give this a shot, and you kind of find that there are all these resources to be able to make a startup happen.
You know, being an Aussie and coming over here with that sort of perspective, particularly from Melbourne, I think the vibe in Melbourne is definitely there, and there's a lot of great people doing great things in Melbourne. However, when I arrived here, I think things were just on a different level here. My perspective was widened. There are innovation centres here, which is not something we have in Melbourne at this point in time. And I think that's really exciting because there's so much more opportunity here.
Boston is a hub for startups. So like just in this neighborhood, there's startups in this building. There's startups, like a huge startup accelerator down the street called the Mass Challenge. And just around this, in this Atlantic Wharf area, it's amazing. You could probably run into 100 of them. And that's really unique within walking distance.
I think one of the things that makes Boston great as a place to find talent is that it's the city on a hill, right? We have MIT and Harvard and BC and BU and Emerson and Suffolk all within like 4 miles of each other, and that scratches the surface of the colleges in, you know, the Boston area. There's Mass Art, there's, you know, New England School of Photography, there's like school on top of school on top of school, and all these people just want to learn, and learning is the measure of success in a startup, so it just makes sense.
This is an entrepreneur community that has endured for hundreds of years and will continue to endure. That panoramic strength across all sectors of entrepreneurship means that no matter what sector is up and what sector is down, there is going to be a lot of know-how and capital and support and all of the other things that entrepreneurs need to survive that are available here that will make this a startup hub that continues to prosper.
Since the very beginning, we were ranked #1. Fortunately, we haven't lost that spot. We're getting momentum, so it's the rich get richer, the strong get stronger. We're one of those types of environments where we're known for entrepreneurship, so we attract the best and the brightest, both faculty, students, alumni, and friends. And we have more resources, and it's kind of building, getting stronger over time. Moreover, many places that have an entrepreneurship program, they might have 2 or 3 faculty in entrepreneurship, maybe just 1. You know, we have 15 faculty who are full-time in entrepreneurship and another 15 or 20 part-time in our department. Then we have 50, 60 other faculty around the campus who want to be in entrepreneurship. So we have like 70, 80 faculty who teach something in entrepreneurship.
The room we're in right now is an accelerator room. It's all startups. There are startups everywhere. You walk around campus, you see Babson businesses, both student businesses and larger businesses such as Home Depot that are already developed. You see everything all around campus every day. So you're always exposed to entrepreneurship. All the students always have new business ideas, so it's a real cool environment to be in.
The professors, I call one mom already. She is absolutely amazing. Being a part of FME, learning how to start your own business, and having the support of professors who want to help you. Working with 31, I was able to go talk to my professors and ask what I should do. So definitely the professors, you get to know them. They know who you are. They know what you're going through. You know, if you're having some hard times, they want to help you, and everyone does, and that's really cool.
The best practical advice is start showing up places and meeting people, right? Networking, introducing yourself, feeling comfortable, kind of out of your skin. The more people you can meet, this is a very small community, you know, the farther you will get faster.
You know, I think getting connected to the community here is really quite easy. The way I did it, as an Australian who just came here on the fly and didn't really know anyone, I looked at Meetup and I looked at Eventbrite, and I just, you know, looked for events and got introduced to people, and then talked to other people, and they sort of referred me onwards, and that's how it started. It was very easy to find events here and get connected to the community.
Practical advice, well, before I get into the practical, the first thing is just jump, do it. Forget about all of the BS that people tell you in your life. If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to go do it. You're just going to jump, go find somebody, go to a meetup, find a co-founder, and just go. If you have an idea, run with it. That's the first thing. It's not exactly practical, and it's probably impractical, actually, maybe a little irresponsible, but that's the only way to do it if you go 2 feet into the pool. So that's the first thing. Then I'd say start with networking events. Go to everything you can think of. There's any number of different networking event aggregators you can go to and find 10 in a week and go to all of them.
Boston, Cambridge area, with the education we have, everyone comes here to import to get that education. And the problem is they all graduate and like, job, California, Georgia, Chicago, New York City. No one stays here. They all go back and like, we just spent all this money on this talent, and they're all gone. So like, now with the startup community, it's like, my whole goal is to get this talent and keep them here. You train them, keep them here, and just let it grow.
I mean, anywhere could do better, right? But Boston in particular, preparing college students, right? Initiatives like Boston Startup School are just incredible to me. Like that, if the government would give someone like Katie Ray, who does Techstars, government money and just get out of the way and let her start things like Boston Startup School all day long, that'd be amazing.
As big as CIC is, for example, and we have other facilities in other parts of the city that are run by other people that are all about bringing entrepreneurs together to help them be successful in community. And all of us are at capacity. We're overflowing. None of us are able to fully serve the market need that's out there, the entrepreneur demand that's there. We're all growing as fast as we can, but it's still not enough. So from my narrow perspective of creating communities for entrepreneurs, that's an important piece.
I would say that there's more access to the student population, and that you know, there's so many colleges in there, and a great opportunity to have interns. And sometimes it's hard to make the connection from, okay, I'm a startup and I need this, and I'm a student and I really want to intern in a startup. And I feel like it's been more energy in linking those two, which has been good.
2010 to now, only a couple of years, you know, all of a sudden, all these things exist. You know, all these networks exist. Mass Challenge wasn't here. Greenhorn Connect wasn't as visible. You know, Dart Boston kind of started it all with their sort of connecting these young guys that just got together and said, you know, this is crazy. We need to plug people into the scene. And I was a victim of that. I mean, I left because I didn't know how to connect to it. And now I would never leave. I mean, it's so easy to connect to it.
Also, the culture has changed quite a bit. You know, just in terms of the startup culture, more people are leaving to start companies, even locally, and less people are just taking the option of the large company in downtown that they go to after they finish school. So the last 2 years has been like an enormous change, I would say.
One of the things that you'll start to see here in Boston is that people aren't going to leave. One of the things that we've really struggled with is keeping our talent here in the city. You know, companies their genesis projects will start here, and then when it's time to really expand and take their ventures to the next level, they're going out west, they're going to south. I think over the next 2 years, you're going to start seeing start to finish. Like, companies are going to start here. People are going to really lay the foundation here for their companies, and everything is going to be built, and it's going to really, really function here. And I think it's going to do wonders for the Boston economy as a whole.
So when I look forward for Boston in 18 months, it's kind of like I'm looking up. It's incredibly bright. It's a little blurry. Like, there's some stuff happening up there. There's shapes. I can't quite make out exactly what they are. But it's bright.
You know, the key thing really I see happening is a lot of these startups gaining momentum, and it feels like we're either at a tipping point or we're very close to it. And so it's very exciting at the moment to watch these startups, you know, start making a leap forward, and Boston being recognised as a fantastic startup city.
So you have a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, sort of from all over the world coming here to start companies. And you have a lot of people sort of in the Northeast recognizing too that, you know, the wealth of resources that are available here, you know, just continues to grow. So everything from sort of mentors and advisors to funders to, you know, other types of people that you can connect with, potential partners. And so it's a very dynamic place.
Storied history, really powerful yet intimate ecosystem, birthplace of Western education. Tons of venture spend that happens on risk takers that have strong visions that can execute. There's more opportunities than one person can take advantage of.
Being able to have a network that you can trust and rely on, and they're not going to go flighty to the next big thing, but truly believe in you and what you're building. And because once you make that connection, then it doesn't go away.
You can go out to Palo Alto and see 10 other companies doing the exact same thing as you. In Boston, there's probably only one or none altogether. And so that being the only one here has an incredible strength. And unless you're of course, in the biotech industry, in which case you're one of 10,000, but being the only one doing your thing in a city can be an incredible opportunity.
At the end of the day, it's not about what I may tell you or what you might read in a blog article or what you hear from somebody else who's gone before you. It's really what your experience is like that matters the most. And the only way to get to the bottom of that is to go and check it out.